Today we are talking Oprah teaming up with the Brits and a lot more on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Tune in right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Hollywood Live's The Trend. I'm your host, Derrial Christon, and I'm back. I haven't been here in a long time.
He's back.
Long time. Okay. And I got my backup dancers. I got Courtney Stewart, who's apparently a backup dancer for me today. What's up, Courtney?
What's up, everybody?
And we have a very special guest from World of
Yes,
Dance,
we
one of my
do.
favorite shows. He gets to, hang out with J-Lo and all those fun people.
I know.
You know,
This is true.
Yes.
Derion Loman is here with us today. What's up, man?
How's it going?
With the bright, cool shirt on.
Oh, thank you so much. My stylist grabbed it for me.
Hey, you're winning today with that.
Thank
You're winning.
you. So glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to have a lot of fun today because we're going to be talking about some great topics, talking about World of Dance, how you killing the game. We're going to talk about that necklace because you're taking us to Wakanda with it.
Yeah.
Y'all can't really see it. I don't know if maybe you could open it up a little bit. It's really dope.
Look at that necklace.
With that necklace.
Y'all, he got some Killmonger locks going on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's
All
up?
tilted to the side. Okay.
Right, we ready today. We ready.
Everybody stop
I was
Everybody
screwing
ready.
him before the movie came out, though. I had it.
It's all good.
I had
I feel
the
you.
look
You
come
was the
in.
original.
We know that because they don't grow that quick.
And then the movie came out, and I was like, oh, now everyone's going to think.
Now everybody gonna be trying to say
Everyone's
it.
gonna think I
They
did
go
it because of
yeah,
that.
Right. They go like, you trying to do it.
I am secretly trying to get casted as his stunt double, though, in another movie or something. I'm
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at
Marvel.
that.
Not mad at that.
Not mad at that because that Marvel money is real.
So real.
Real nice.
Real.
Real nice. Real
Jesse
nice.
is not here today.
He is not. However, we have a topic to talk about that he would have normally presented to you, but I'm going
Exactly.
to present to you now because I have it. So, it's like springtime. We're headed into prom, graduation season.
I remember those days.
You remember those days, young kids, living
Bow
life,
ties.
thinking, ooh, I want to grow up and be an adult, and then you become one and realize, nah.
I don't want that no more. I
Take
don't
me
want
back
it. I
to
don't want
prom.
to take it back.
Take me back to prom.
Exactly.
And corsages.
One of the interesting things that many of you maybe participated in, we're going to find out as a senior in high school, was the senior prank. And this week we had some seniors at a school called Sophie B. Wright High School in Carrollton, Louisiana. And they did their senior prank, except the senior prank went a little left, and it caused injuries to at least one teacher and a couple students. And what they had did is they took some water guns with some eggs and vinegar and mustard and water balloons inside and outside of the building, and they just threw them all over the place and sprayed all this egg wash, I guess was what you would call it.
Yeah,
It's like a mix.
Yeah, it's like an
Something
egg
vinegar,
wash,
like an egg
foam,
wash,
vinegar,
sort of.
yeah.
I don't know why vinegar though, but anyway, they sprayed it all in the bathrooms and in some hallways, and a teacher slipped and two students slipped. Some of the students that participated were expelled. Some of them were suspended for 5 days, as well as banned from senior events, and most of them were banned from walking at graduation. There was a big uproar from a lot of the parents saying the punishment doesn't fit the crime. It was just a prank. Suspend them, but don't expel them, and don't, keep them from going to graduation. That's too harsh. We don't understand. The school said they made it real clear, guys. The week of April 1st, they got word that a prank was about to go down. And the school told the teachers, the students, and the parents, if you participate up in this, you might get expelled and you will not be walking at graduation. So they are sticking to their guns and not trying to turn it around. What you guys think? Does the punishment fit the crime?
I mean, listen, if they gave the rule, this is a year of people, being led by example. So I would say that they needed to get expelled. If that's what they were told, April 1st, don't participate in any jokes or anything like that. I mean, kids are going to be kids, but yeah, I would say just to make a lesson too, because I bet more kids will do it in the future.
And also, if I remember right, didn't they give a warning 30 minutes before the
Yeah.
prank was supposed to go down?
Yes.
They knew you were
They're just
about
not
to do
smart
it.
students.
Yeah.
So
And you just chose to do it anyway. That's
repercussions.
what's going to happen in real life.
Yeah.
But it's the senior prank. You guys don't give them no kind of leeway?
No, first of all, I was already mad at the egg and the vinegar, the eggs and vinegar, because
well, they couldn't just do water. Then it's not slippery. That was the whole point.
Well, I grew up in Ohio, and our houses, in our neighborhood, our houses used to get egged and TP. Did you have the TP or toilet paper? And I used to be the one, would have to clean it up. When my friends did it to my house. So,
but here's the difference: had they had a whole organized plan of hey, we're also going to clean this up. And here's the list of everyone who's coming in tomorrow to clean, or tonight, or whatever. We just still want to do it.
Okay, I mean, I feel you. Yeah.
Well, that's what some of the parents said. Well, what if they do community service or make them do there's other ways to punish? No, y'all not here for it?
Once again, the
Y'all
rule.
would kick these babies out of school.
No, here's the thing. Once again, I'm going back also to what he said. The 30 minutes right before also, that seals the deal for me, because at least I was maybe was going to get swayed a little bit, because I'm like, well, if it was April 1st, you forget, you still think, oh, I'm not going to get in trouble. But if they tell you 30 minutes before, you will get expelled.
But that's the rule anyway. I don't know any school that's not saying y'all do a prank, destroying property or doing something, you're not going to get in trouble. Everybody knows that the possibility of getting in trouble. That's not that didn't change it. That's not a new rule.
So then you can't be mad when you
can't
get
be mad.
But it's not about not getting in trouble. It's about whether that was too extreme of a punishment. Do they really need to be kicked out of school completely and not
that's a
allowed
different
to walk
subject.
at graduation?
Yeah. So that's what you're asking. If you're asking
does
that,
the punishment fit the crime?
I would say suspension would be a crime, 2 or 3 days suspension, and they can't walk graduation.
Dang.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expelled them, because that's expelling is that's severe. I mean,
you just got disqualified.
If you had a scholarship, forget about it. It's gone.
That's you ruining.
You ruin that.
Yeah.
That I will take away, but to not walk in graduation and to be suspended for a couple of days, I would do that.
Oh, y'all gonna be some mean daddies.
I mean, but also think about how much do you really care about how you walked in high school? Those are events that don't really end up mattering to you later on in your life. So I'm not walking in graduation really, it seems like it's a really bad punishment, but later on in your life.
Well, it is for them in that moment, and we're talking about
it's more.
now.
It's
for their parents.
It's for their parents.
It's for
Graduations
their
are really for our parents, because I
could
care. I didn't care.
I didn't even want to get the cap and gown.
Right.
I
told my mom I wasn't going. She was like, bet.
Right.
Who you playing?
Yes, you are, because I'm like your auntie and your grandmama. They go. You going?
Yeah. Well, one more question. Do you guys think there is the possibility that some of these kids could be facing actual criminal charges because of the injuries? What do you think of that?
I mean, okay, so wait, 2 people got hurt?
Yeah.
How severe? Is it
not aware.
I fell and I can't get up, or is it I hit my head and I got a concussion?
Nobody said anybody's in critical condition, but I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want them to face, criminal charges. I mean, but I would have to say that if the people had medical expenses, they should be responsible for them.
Okay, see, I can buy with that.
You know what I mean?
But that means their mama's gonna be responsible. You're gonna get beat in a circle.
Right. He said beat in a circle. Wait, why'd you do the circle though? You did it. You did the circle. I just felt like I just got beat.
Where you get hit for every syllable.
Look, you just got hit. You don't even realize it. Right. And she sang it while she did it. You gon' get beat with this stick.
Exactly, because you deserve it. But yeah, so I would hope that they don't get criminal charges just because.
Yeah, I would hope that they don't get criminal charges. I hope they don't get expelled per se, but I do think, once again, they should get the other punishments.
Then again, if it was my leg that I got broke or sprained,
right, or you got hit in the eye with vinegar.
Different.
Yeah.
Oh well, guys, your prank sucked. Fail, because
epic fail actually.
Cause all kinds of problems.
Look, you ain't got to worry about remember graduation, but you will remember this.
You will, and perhaps never ever do it again.
Right.
But yeah.
Well,
anyway,
I hope not.
Did you guys do a senior prank?
I don't even remember.
I was trying to remember. I know there was one.
I was too busy trying to get out of there. I don't think I did much pranks.
Me too.
I was I was even too scared to skip school. The one day I did it, I asked my mom. I was like, some of my friends are leaving. Can I go? She was like, why would you even ask me that? No.
Senior skip day.
Yeah. I did the senior skip day because we had an amusement park. And I went to that. That's what everybody did.
Well, see, but that doesn't count. That's like the school, like, what do you call it? Sanctioned skip day, because we had an amusement park. We went to Darien Lake. I lived in Rochester, New York. Anyway, so the school sanction one doesn't, like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think I participated in any pranks. I may have scared some like underclassmen. Maybe tried to,
What do you mean you scared them?
I mean, I was kind of a cool senior. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I mean,
you were a cool senior.
I was kind of a cool senior.
So you were a mean senior. You're gonna be
I was
a
not
mean
mean.
daddy.
No, I was not mean. There may have just been a couple of little freshmen who thought they were the jam, and I had to tell them they weren't. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
No, he's not, y'all. He's smiling
Lies.
too bright.
He don't look like he believed me at all.
No.
Not at all.
He didn't even blink when he looked at me. At least
like,
blink at me and act like you don't. He was like,
We know who you are.
nah.
Well, all right. Well, we gonna
That's
move
messed up.
on. We gonna move on. That's your new nickname. You gonna be mean, daddy. You gonna be
no, I am gonna be.
so mean.
I'm gonna have those punishments
Yeah.
ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Beating them up. Okay.
You said beating them up.
Well, I guess you don't.
You
Whip the
took it
kids
too
no
far.
More. Sorry.
You can't whip kids, 911.
No more. My bad. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna whoop my kids. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to Black Lives Matter. There's a really interesting story out this week about Black Lives Matter, and it's interesting and slightly disturbing if you know your history at all. So basically, some documents were obtained by an organization called Property of the People. It's a self-described nonprofit specialist organization. But the documents basically allegedly show that law enforcement officials have linked Ferguson and Baltimore Black Lives Matter protests and those protesters that are involved in the protests with interest in joining ISIS. And basically, we've already kind of been aware that government has been sort of monitoring Black Lives Matter activists online. That information has kind of been out for like the last couple years and shutting down accounts and that kind of thing, but there had not been an actual visual proof of what they are sort of trying to link and make it seem like. And basically what seems to be happening is that on the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Homeland Security have established a pattern of similarity between the movement against police brutality and foreign terrorism. Basically what this means is that they have greatly exaggerated isolated social media activity, which is being done by a large percentage of foreign accounts, not even Americans. And they're saying that it has encouraged a connection between protesters and ISIS. So they're trying to label Black Lives Matter activists as what they call, hold on, they have a name for us now, y'all. Black identity extremists. And this is in government paperwork, and they are basically trying to use the Muslim scare that is sort of in existence in this country right now, and to link that to what the Black Lives Matter movement and anyone in support of the Black Lives Matter movement is doing. And the reason that this is unsettling, in case you guys aren't aware, a very similar thing happened with the Black Panther Party movement in the late 60s, and it gave police as well as the FBI license basically to murder.
Yeah, use force.
Black
lethal
people.
force.
And black people that are involved or linked to the Black Panther Party. And with the election coming up, this ain't a small thing.
No.
And it's very likely that this might surface. And I'm a little uncomfortable. How y'all feel?
To me, it just feels like another level of fear mongering where it's just like you attach the biggest thing, the biggest fear you can in this country to another group. I mean, because without having any sort of actual proof, they were like, well, we don't know who this is, but if we just assign the blame to the next group we want to take out, then maybe it'll just walk itself on out the door.
Yeah.
Like, solve our problem for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw it, honestly, I didn't think primarily only of Black Panther, but I thought of the police brutality situation right now, and I just felt like it's just going to increase it. It's just a realm to increase it and justify it even more. And especially in the scary, I hate to say this, but the scary times that we still are in, this is, it makes me nervous on what this means for the future. You know, we don't know where this presidency and election and all this stuff is going to lie next. And I mean, every day it's like I'm hearing just the negativity of just things that are just going on in the world. You know, it just seems like it's just not clearing up anytime soon. And this is not going to help that situation. And it's really scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really scary, actually.
It's really-
and I hope people take it as serious as it is.
Well, that's my thing. I wonder how serious we will take it, because for the first time, there's all this like conversation among like leading politicians about reparations and things that the Black community like really actually needs. Like, are we gonna really move forward on some prison reform? Are we really like, we're sort of having this expectations of our leaders in a way that we have not had before. And with this kind of floating around in the ether, it's sort of like, oh man, this is like a powder keg ready to explode, because it can quite easily be used quite simply against regular Black folks who are trying to campaign, support, and do anything for any Black interests in this country at all. So it's very unnerving to me.
I mean, especially with all the stuff that even surfaced a few years back about the judges who were taking money to send people to the private prisons.
Exactly.
And you're like, so you are literally taking someone's life away from them.
Yeah.
For
For money.
money.
For money.
And now when you can do it for no reason, just because you suspect something that hasn't actually been proven, like that's just going to run rampant.
Yeah.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And how many, I mean, I know I myself, I've retweeted things about Black Lives Matter. I've supported, like, and
Same here.
that means you're on a radar.
Right.
That is not American. And thank you. The ACLU is suing the FBI currently. Obviously, that's going to be a situation for however long that takes or whatever, for these things that they've done in terms of spying on people and being online and that kind of thing. But I don't know, y'all. We out in these streets.
We are in these streets. And what's also scary is that, unfortunately, people are still not educated themselves on certain things like this. And there is a lot of misconception out there, even obviously we know within the Muslim community as well, then the perception of what people think and say. And this, adding to that with the state of where we're at mentally with people, it could be extremely scary and dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for real.
And just to say one more thing, we got taxpayer money going towards identifying Black identity extremists, which at this point we would all be classified as Black identity extremists.
Right.
However, there is actually statistical proof that the terrorism issue in America, the most concerning one, is white nationalism.
Yeah.
And they literally just had a freaking congressional hearing with a lady who I will not say her name because I refuse. She is a Black woman and I refuse to support her existence. But they had her testifying, talking about white nationalism ain't even a thing. It don't exist. It's not even an issue. And I was just like, wow, while this is also happening, that dichotomy is just mind-blowing to me. And it's, again, like we've already said a million times, it's scary. And if we're uninformed and unaware, it ain't gonna get better. No. It'll just get worse.
I mean, because in that same direction, all it takes is one voice to spur on a movement of other people who are like, see, this person who's a part of your community is saying this, so.
Yeah.
And she might be waiting for a check right now to say, well, you know what, those Black identity extremists are really like a thing. Like, you guys really need to look into that. Yeah. And then people buy into it.
People buy into it, and they don't have the knowledge, but you know what? That's why we need Oprah to run for president, because, you know, that's what we're going to talk about right now, because Oprah's trying to make some changes. The positive changes.
She
See?
ain't running for president,
Oprah.
Though. She like,
Yeah, she's not going to do it. That's what she says right now. I don't know. These things keep happening. Maybe will, decide something different. But basically right now we have Oprah, who has teamed up with the Brits. She teamed up with Prince Harry, and she's creating a mental health documentary series launching on Apple sometime in 2020. And it aims to inspire viewers to have an honest conversation about the challenges people face with mental health, which is a huge problem in our country. And it also is going to attempt to equip people with the tools to thrive and really understand the disease. Yeah. And I mean, we know that, every day we hear about something that is happening that mental health has affected that. And I think, once again, that's another thing a lot of people aren't educated on fully. And she is trying to educate people. So she teamed up with Prince Harry, and they're about to do big things.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it. What do you guys think?
Sussex.
The House of Sussex. What do you think?
I think the best part about it is that they're two of some of the most iconic worldwide names. Yeah. So they're going to have a huge following of people behind them. But the real problem is figuring out how to target the people who need to hear the message.
True. Yeah, that's true.
For sure. And they were talking about, Oprah was actually just on Trevor Noah's show.
Yeah.
And they did a little like after the
Between the
interview,
scenes
whatever,
or-
between the scenes,
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And she was talking about how in Africa specifically with her girls at her girls' school in South Africa, how there was a girl, they thought she was depressed. And the whole concept that she was like, they went down a list and showed her like, you have every single symptom of depression. And she was like, I can't be depressed, I'm African. Like, to like break that
Yeah.
and get that like inserted into people, the information inserted into brains that way. Like
Yeah.
I have no idea what in terms of actual content they're gonna be able to do
Right.
that is
Yeah.
And the-
also effective, and then to get it out there.
and how to not open Pandora's box with like
Right.
then everyone being, oh, I'm afflicted.
Yes.
Right.
I've got something
Right.
wrong with me.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm,
that's true.
I'm mentally ill.
That is true,
You know,
right.
and then you're just
Right.
like, how do, so where does that
Where does
sort
the
of
line go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the series is kind of put together, you know, and what information it really gives. Because apparently Prince Harry was very much in. He spearheaded the Heads Together campaign, which was aimed to tackle the stigma surrounding mental illness. So he has been dealing with this issue, or been a strong advocate of this healing of this issue for a long time,
Yeah.
which I found interesting as well.
Yeah, because he's talked about his own issues,
His own
especially
issues.
having dealt with his mom's death and
His
everything.
mom's death,
so
yeah.
Woo!
Well,
go
like
Apple.
you said, the go Apple for
Yeah.
making some amazing programming and offering amazing programming, and also, you know, if two people can put this together, I would say those two could.
Yeah.
You know, because he has his history with it and a lot of knowledge, and so does Oprah with a lot of things. So I'm here for it.
And they got reach.
They got reach, and
They
they
got
got
reach.
dollars to make it happen.
Always need
Dollars, them
dollars.
checks. Those checks. That's right. Well, that concludes the topics of the day. We went. It was like a roller coaster.
Everybody's like,
We rolled out with the checks.
We do
Speaking of
everything.
checks,
Checks.
my man D, tell us all about this show and you doing your thing to get to that next level. Those extra checks, those J-Lo checks.
Oh man, talk about a wild ride. So I auditioned with my partner Madison, and we decided, you know, we always have complaints about like the work and things that we're seeing out there, and we're like, why don't we stop complaining and just try and start putting our own stuff out there? And so we went on the show, and like we were so nervous the first time we went out there, and the feedback we got from our first week was like, oh my God, we could actually do this. And that was just so inspiring and so empowering for the two of us, and it's just been wild. Like, it was a pre-taped show, and so I did it a while ago, and now it's just now airing.
Yeah.
So,
How long ago did you do it?
it ended in December 1st was our last shoot.
Wow.
Oh,
It's
it's
okay.
that long?
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was like maybe February or somewhere.
No
Okay.
way. And so then you kind of forget that you even did something
Yeah.
like that. And then when it's surfacing and you start hearing from all these people who are like, oh my God, your message is so inspiring, or what you're doing is amazing, you really just like feel such a sense of pride when you're
Yeah.
doing it. And so now the next step is like exactly what you just said, trying to figure out how to use that momentum to like further your reach and to keep yourself going so that you just don't fizzle out. You know, that it's so easy because now our attention span is 90 seconds.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or 60 if you're
Yeah.
scrolling through Instagram.
You're
Yeah.
right about
You know?
that. Yeah.
So you have to find how to get your message across in a concise amount of time, but then get people to want to continue to hear what you have to say and see what you have to do.
So take us back a little bit to the beginning here. So I know you've been dancing forever. And no, you haven't.
I started dance when I was 19. Yeah. I took my first dance class when I was in college.
What?
But you knew you could dance. You always knew
You were
could
like
dance.
a dancer. You
Yeah,
just weren't a trained
you weren't a
dancer?
trained dancer, but
Yeah,
you were a
I mean,
dancer. Come on, you didn't just
yeah,
like all of
yeah.
a sudden just, you know.
But there's a big difference
There's a
between
huge
that and
There's
like
a huge
technique.
difference. No, you're right about that.
I mean, were you any kind of gymnast or athlete
No,
leading
I
into
mean,
it? You
I
were-
mean, I just had an affinity for things that were physical. Like if it was a sport in PE or whatever, I typically ended up picking it up quickly. But none of it, I didn't fall in love with any of it.
And you just had all that flexibility, just like flowing, just there.
I'm all right. I'm probably one of the most flexible in my family, though. But I also was like the only one who didn't play basketball.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
everyone in my family, my mom, my dad, my brother, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna dance. So, but
And what did they say? Were they like, okay?
you know, it's funny. It took a minute. Everyone was just kind of like, all right, cool. He's gonna do his thing. And then like as I started actually gaining momentum in it, everyone has been nothing but supportive.
That's
you know,
good. Yeah.
My dad flew to Germany to see me premiere in a show one time.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was his birthday, so he flew to Germany for his birthday to see me premiere in a show, and then we like had lunch outside on a like patio in Germany.
That had to be surreal, though. That was
Yeah.
that moment. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then what led you to wanting to go on World of Dance?
You know, we had gotten tired of doing other people's things. You know, it essentially, I wanted to be my own boss. I was tired of it, and I just wanted to put what I thought was interesting and cool out there and see if other people would enjoy it too. And it was just a really exciting like platform to be able to do that on. It's one of the biggest ones out right now.
It is.
Yeah, it
it's
is,
it's
for
got
sure.
probably the most buzz, I would say, out of all of them.
And what do you see sort of building off of that platform? Like, how do you envision sort of moving forward with Dan?
I'm so glad you asked this because one of my favorite things is I love to teach. And I just think finding a way to teach people the things that I wish I knew, especially starting late. You know, you're trying to catch up and learn so many things all at once and just kind of being like, it's okay. And you need to like focus and hone in. And these are the things that I found helped me the most. And so I want to be able to build programs where I can go around to different places and just teach a like week-long workshop and be like, as a professional who's got to do concert dance, commercial dance, dance for television, I've dabbled in so many different things that I'm like, whatever you want to do, I've kind of had a little taste of it. So like, let me give you a couple bits and pieces to help you on your journey.
And then what was the audition process like? I mean, how many auditions did you actually have to do before you landed on the show?
Surprisingly, you only have to do one.
Really? I thought it was like six. You know what I mean?
That's how a lot of shows are. But this one, you go in and they make you do 2 different 90-second pieces, and you have to do them twice. So you do it 4 times, and there's just a panel of people in front of you, and they're like, okay, and cue music, and you finish your first one, you're like, and they're like, okay, ready for the next one? You're like, no.
Drink some water.
Yeah. And so it was like that. And then if you make it through, if they are interested in what you do in that round, they then bring you to an interview process to see if you can be
How you are on TV,
Yes.
your personality and backstory.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool because I got singled out for one of the moves I did in our routine, and one of the ladies came out and was like, no, I'm going to do that. I can do that move, I bet you. And so then it kind of became this joke on the show. They had people trying to do it, and like Derek Huff actually gets up and comes walking onto the stage and like fakes the audience out like he's going to try and do it. But basically, once something like that happened and they were like, we're really wowed by you guys' stuff, and then we passed the interview process, you just wait for an email, and then they either tell you got it or you don't. And so after that part, they just start sending you like, okay, what would your concepts be? What kind of music do you want to use? And then one day my producer was like, hey, my name's Sierra. I'm going to be your producer, and we're inviting you on the World to Dance.
Wow.
Dreams come true.
Dreams
guys.
come true. See, pursue your dreams, everybody. You never know. Now, I would imagine that it's an emotional roller coaster being on that show. I mean, because first of all, the physicality of it, I just give you props for that alone. And then the kind of just the competition element of it. First, what did you find about yourself that you learned that was different from when you know, from the beginning to the end? And then would you do another competition show again?
I think one of the biggest things I learned is that I have the ability to thrive under pressure. Like, not only can I like,
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, like excel, but like I feel like in that environment, I feel like my brain goes into that mode where everything slows down, and I'm like, okay, this, and then combine it all together and go. And I felt like I got better at that as the show progressed.
Wow.
Which was really cool to find out.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, I forgot the
Oh,
other.
it's okay. Would you do another competition show?
That's such a hard question. Because there's so many reasons to say no.
Yeah.
But also it's really exciting and really fun, and you meet the best people when you're doing it. The crew was great, the other dancers were great, like all of us loved each other and encouraged each other backstage, and like they're kind of trying to get you to be like at each other, and none of us wanted to do it. We're like, no, I respect that person way too much. They're out here putting their heart and soul out on the stage too. I can't bash that.
Yeah.
For real. Of the celebrity judges, which one were you most sort of maybe nervous about or wanted to impress the most, or was? kind of on edge for?
I think it's got to be Derek because he also dances a lot,
Yeah.
and like he's well known in the dance world, and so I feel like he looks at you with a certain eye and
Sure.
has something to say about everything. But also, I mean, you're sitting there and JLo's staring at you and just like smoldering at you while you're on
Yeah,
stage. So
yeah.
you're like, ah,
Yeah.
do I know what I'm doing anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't want to give nobody eye contact. I'll be trying to dance blind.
Yeah. That'll work. Derek.
It probably would not work.
Maybe for your moves, it'll be all right.
Maybe for my non-moves, it might work. I mean, but it's funny because we met you at the World of Dance party,
Yeah.
and I was telling Courtney the energy there, like people were excited. I mean, there is a love
so
for that
great.
show and a love
Yeah.
for those contestants. And how has it been to kind of transition into that life? You know, because some people aren't prepared for that people recognize you and want to be around you all the time. I mean, how has that been for you, that experience?
It's so weird, like being out somewhere and someone just being like, "Oh my God, you were
You're a dancer.
yeah, I watched you, great work," and you're like, "Thank you, yeah, all right." You know, you don't realize how far spread, how wide the web reaches,
Yeah.
and that's really, really cool. That's probably one of the biggest things about it is it reaches so many people.
Yeah. And what would be your ultimate thing that you'd like to do next in your career?
Oh, I want to be able to choreograph for like the Oscars or like the Emmys or like any sort of like major thing that is nationally televised, because I think there's a gap between the concert dance world and the commercial dance world, and I don't think there has to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And then didn't you help the show get an Emmy nomination? Like with your
Right now we are being submitted to be considered for an Emmy, which
Okay.
is a pretty cool thing.
That is really cool.
Hey.
Yeah, the show like did it on our behalf. They're like, we do it for a couple acts every year, and we think you guys are a worthy act of it, and so we want to submit you for an Emmy for your choreography. So, fingers crossed on that, because if we find that out, I could be an Emmy-nominated choreographer.
Hey, that's a nice little thing to add to that resume.
It's cute. It's cute.
It's a good
Nice little trophy.
Just slide the business card over.
Like, hi, I'm
I'm
Derion
an Emmy
Loman,
Award-winning
yeah,
choreographer.
choreographer. See
Casual.
that? That's my
Did you
picture.
see that? Okay.
There you go.
Or like, I was talking with my partner about, imagine being in the house and being like, so where are we going to put the Emmy?
Yeah.
On that
Where
show?
will you put it?
Right. That's real. You'll be getting that question, you know, at the Emmys.
Where do you want to put it?
So,
envision it there.
where can we? What can you tell us next? What can fans and all that
Where
fun
can they
stuff?
find you,
Where can they
see your
find
work?
you? See your work.
Right now, I'm just trying to use Instagram. It's one of the biggest platforms for us right now because dance is a visual medium. So my handle is @Derion Loman, just my name. And what we're trying to put, we're on Sunday, this Sunday.
Make sure
we're
to
on.
watch.
Okay, Sunday
Yeah,
watch.
Sunday at 8, we're on.
Sunday at 8. Be sure to watch.
Be sure to
NBC,
watch.
everybody's TV, or your whatever form you're
Everybody's
looking
TV.
at.
You don't even
Yeah.
have to have cable,
No,
or you
don't
can
have to
stream
have
it,
cable.
so
No,
you don't
you
have an
can stream it.
excuse.
Watch it online.
Watch it online,
All
on
the
your
things.
phone, whatever you need to do.
All available.
And Courtney, where can fans find you?
I'm everywhere at Stuart Starlet.
And you can find me at Derrial Christon on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also our new season of This Is LA on CBS coming out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We got to have you back, man.
Yeah.
I would love
You
to
know,
be back.
I want to hear all about the next moves, because I know there's gonna be some big stuff coming.
Yeah, we need a class.
We need a class. Yeah,
learn
next
dance at
next
19.
time.
I got you.
Next time we'll have to set up a little space in the studio,
need
and we're gonna
a
do a
class.
move because Courtney tried to say I can't dance. I
did not.
You heard that? You heard her try and play
I
me a
said you
little
could
bit.
do your moves
She said that might work
live.
for you.
Right,
You
right.
work
But when you
for
was,
you.
trying to say that sounds like I ain't got no moves.
I mean, you might have something. I don't know you.
Oh,
Moving
okay.
on.
All right,
Guys,
moving
it's
on.
been great.
It's been great. All right, see y'all next week.
On behalf of our BHL staff, we would like to thank you for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live, the world's first digital broadcast network devoted entirely to urban entertainment and pop culture. Check out our Black Hollywood Live YouTube page for even more great programming and amazing content, and be sure to subscribe and like our channel when you do. I'm your BHL host, Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom or at Black Hollywood Live. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood redefined.